So one of the things is, as we talk about adoption, especially on National Pet Day, it's understanding the breed. So I say this because when we went to adopt a dog, we specifically wanted the traits of a Shar Pei, very aloof, not prone to jumping up, but also maybe a dog that doesn't necessarily connect with a lot of people, not a lab. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that as a consideration.
That is such a great, that's a perfect observation, really, because I think people maybe don't think that through before they get to the shelter. They're thinking they want something with tan and white on its face maybe, or fluffy, but thinking about how much contact do you want with that animal, what's your activity level, and another thing I was thinking about, how complicated is your household?
Yes.
Right? Because if it's complicated, you're going to need a bomb-proof animal.
Well, to me, the one you mentioned in the middle there, the exercise factor. I really don't need an animal that needs a lot more exercise than I do. So that was a key factor when we were picking out our dog a number of years ago. We have some animals in-house that we can talk about. So let's break this down by specific animals. If someone's in the market for, say, a bunny, let's bring in the bunny.
Let's get this for the bunny so the bunny isn't on a slippery surface.
Things people should consider before bringing a bunny home.
This would be a great animal for a gentler household. So somebody that's going to be aware, especially if you're going to have the bunny loose. A lot of people have the bunny loose in their house.
We had a loose rabbit, house trained.
Which is really fun. You can litter box train them. You just have to be careful about wires.
Yes,
but,
and carpet.
So you want a little
What's
bit.
with the wires?
They will chew electrical cords, and they really like to chew carpet. So you just have to, our rabbit Bonanza spent a lot of time in the kitchen.
Moving on to the next pet for me then.
Or you could give them some chew toys to eliminate that need to search and find. So this would be a great, you can see she's I think people don't realize how much personality bunnies can have.
Oh, yes.
They have, like your chickens probably have very distinct personalities. People don't think about that.
Absolutely.
Same with bunnies. There are cuddlers, they're more aloof, they're rambunctious.
Lifespan, and I say this because I've seen one too many rabbits get adopted in a home, the kids lose interest, and then they get stuck in a cage for the rest of their life.
Thank you, and this is the time of year when that happens, right?
Easter.
So that's the main point. This is a 10-year commitment.
There you go.
10 years.
It's important to know.
Absolutely. Okay, we removed the rabbit, humanely of course, to bring in the cat. We don't want to have cat and rabbit at the same time. So now here comes our cat.
Look at this beauty.
Does this beauty have a name?
This is Howie.
Howie.
Howie got a haircut.
Howie did get a haircut because Howie is a Maine Coon or Maine Coon mix and has very long fluffy hair. I brought Howie as an example of a bomb-proof cat.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he's actually my cat.
We know he's not going to misbehave on the Portland Today set.
I needed a cat with all this who could handle it without freaking out. And he lives in a very complicated household with dogs and cats and lots of people. And that's what you want if you're in that kind of a chaotic household.
Are you able to determine that about Howie before you brought him home? Is that something we can determine in the shelter, put it that way?
I think that you can, if you talk to the people at the shelter who are interacting. So the volunteers and the staff, they can get a pretty good sense of the personality. Look, I mean, what's not to love about this guy? Look, palm, tail, and everything.
Oh, very cool.
He's awesome.
Very sharp look.
He is very awesome.
More groomed than I was today for Portland Today.
Wish I had a purple collar.
That would have been nice. I don't want to run out of time before we have a dog in the house. And again, we're not going to mix cat with dog, even though your dog is.
Even though my cat is dog-proof.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
This cat, this dog,
Wilma.
pardon me.
Wilma's
thank
coming
you.
in.
I was going to ask the name. Wilma is the dog's name?
Wilma is an absolute gem. She's such a friendly dog. And a lot of times, when you get dogs in the studio, they tend to freak out about the cameras. And she's like, hey, everybody, what can we do?
Yeah.
Does Wilma like to be picked up?
I had no problem picking her up this morning.
Would you like me to pick her up?
Yeah.
I could do the heavy lifting.
It's white, but
Wilma.
That's fine. Oh, I got you, puppy. Here we go. There we go. Yes.
Now, tell me that's not a pretty bomb-proof dog.
And hey, I gotta say, this dog smells very good. I'd be the first to tell you if it didn't. So things to consider when bringing a dog home, because a lot of times people will present, say, their kids with a dog as a gift, and sometimes that gift can go south.
I think it's better if the kids meet the dog first, because when I'm introducing a dog to children, what I do is I watch, does the dog go towards the children? Does the dog seek out the children? If the dog walks away or tolerates the children, that's not a good match, right? So watch the body language.
The key or the importance of microchipping. Could you speak to that before we say goodbye today?
So important. Microchipping and licensing, because license you can see right away, but microchipping is permanent. And we have reunited a couple of animals after years of missing from their owners because of the microchip. I think it's an essential pet ownership.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I love that. Oh, this is video of one of those reunions.
That's Junebug.
Oh my goodness.
Junebug the pug.
She was missing 3 years and then reunited because of the microchip.
Is that right?
Good call.
And how long was Junebug in the shelter before you made that placement?
I'm going to say a few days is usually.
That's pretty awesome.
It's because we can track down, as long as you keep your phone number current, we can track you down.
And it works with cats too. Larry the cat is a good example of that.
Larry the cat, found in a different state 3 years after he was lost, and he was lost at the age of 14 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So you can imagine.
Going away message. In honor of National Pet Day, microchip your pets. You catching that, Kathy Marshall? And there you see the information on the screen for the Multnomah County Animal Services, multcopets.org.